Catherine and Gabe Kalscheur. Questions for these gentlemen, please.
Gabe and Izaiah, it's Randy Peterson from the Des Moines Register. You guys have played in the Big Ten. You're in the Big 12. What's the difference in the conferences? Both of you.
I would say with the Big 12, it's a lot more up in pace. Big 10 is a lot more big-oriented, slower pace. You can see from Wisconsin, they play a little more slow tempo. They don't like as much pressure, I'd say, so I feel like we're going to do a good job with pressuring them and making them very uncomfortable.
Yeah, like Gabe said, they definitely seem to be more deliberate in their actions, running offense, really, just running through certain sets and, playing through the post a lot.
Jesse Temple with The Athletic. This question's also for Gabe and Izaiah. Did either one of you have any hesitation about coming to a place that had won 2 games the year before, even if it was under a different coaching staff? And also, is there a moment since both of you got here when you realized this team could be pretty special?
I wouldn't say there was much hesitation. I mean, there was a chance that I was giving myself. I took a chance and it definitely succeeded. That's what that's like. In life, you just got to take chances with it. It definitely succeeded. I met a great group of players and coaches and individuals that I don't take for granted at all.
Yeah, I didn't really have reservations. As far as I was concerned, that was a whole new team. We didn't have the coaches there. We had new coaches, new players, and I was ready to do something special. So, like you said, took a chance.
John Steppe, Cedar Rapids Gazette. For Tyrese, take me back to last night after you hit the 3. LSU calls a timeout, and you head over to the Iowa State section with a lot of your family. What was your message to them?
I just know that was the dagger 3, just to put them away. I'm pretty sure we felt more comfortable after that 3, just get back, don't let them make a shot, and then, the excitement, just in the moment, everybody's out there just having fun out there.
Jay Cohen, Associated Press. For any of you 3 guys, TJ talked about after the game that a big key to your guys' turnaround from last year was that there was an immediate buy-in from the players. Is there something about TJ that you think facilitated that, or what's it about him that allowed you guys to buy in kind of almost immediately from the start?
Let's go Gabe, then Tyrese and Izaiah all for that one. Thank you.
I'll say just like everything was orchestrated and everything had like deliberate point. We had a schedule for workouts like early morning through the summer and through fall and through the rest of the season. So everything was the same and orchestrated. So I just feel like that, just having discipline and orchestration through everything, really just helped us situate us through our whole season.
Yeah, like he said, it was just a straight plan. He gave it to us straightforward, like this is the plan, the goals throughout the whole season, what you want to do, and the work that you got to put in. And like you said, guys bought in 5 a.m. soccer field workouts every morning. We was doing a lot of sacrifices. So, like I said, it was just a plan for us.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I realized when I came. Even in the summer, everything was really organized. Everything was fully planned out. And he held us all to a high standard. The guys that were new and the guys that were there from the previous years, he let us know, like, this is a whole new era. Like, this is not where you've been before. And he didn't really give us, like, an option. It was kind of like, get with it or get left. So this is how we're going to do it.
Abby Schnabel, Wisconsin State Journal. Tyrese, you'll be matched up against another freshman point guard, Chucky Hepburn, tomorrow. First of all, have you ever played against Chucky? Have you ever met him? And then second of all, what kind of stands out about Chucky Hepburn's game?
First of all, I never, met him or anything. First time hearing about him this season. Heard he's a pretty good player, capable player. But it's 2 freshman point guards going at it. We both leading our teams. We both in the second round right now, and it's going to come out there and do the little things to win. So we're gonna go out there and battle.
Pablo Iglesias, WKOW out of Madison. Tyrese, you hit a big shot yesterday, and now the script kind of flips around. It's 2 Wisconsin guys going head to head. Obviously now, even though you're in your home state, it kind of feels like, do you feel like you're in enemy territory a little bit with tomorrow's matchup? Where are you at with that?
I mean, honestly, I don't really pay attention to the crowd that much unless I like, get going, get them involved. But I don't really feel like I'm in enemy territory. This is basically my backyard right here. I don't really care if they got thousands and thousands of people out there. That's motivation to me. I might shush the crowd a couple times, if they got that much people out there. But it's all motivation for me.
What's a soccer field workout?
Just got to see it. Just got to see it.
Yeah, it might be. It was probably on our little season documentary, but yeah, a lot of cardio.
A lot of cardio.
Yeah.
Was it any basketball stuff involved in it at all?
Running's in basketball. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, running.
All right.
Hey, Tyrese, Stephen Watson from ABC here in Milwaukee. I know the other day you said your phone was on Do Not Disturb after the thousands of ticket requests that you've received. Is that double now for this second game? And also, when you look up in the crowd, it's going to be a lot of red. But what does that group that's wearing your colors supporting you, that family and friends here in Racine, mean to you?
I mean, like you said, my phone's still on D&D, first of all, but it is. But, I mean, my family means a lot to me. I know they're going to cheer as loud as they can. One of them going to cheer like it's four of them. So, I mean, they're going to cheer, and I'm just going to go out there and do my thing. So they got something to cheer for. So, I mean, it's vice versa for both of us.
Owen Sebring with KGAN. Tyrese, I saw your interview on ESPN this morning, and I think you were saying that your teammates call you Mr. Serious or Serious Face or something
Serious
like that?
face.
Serious Face. Does that match your personality, you feel like, pretty well, or does your facial appearance differ from your real personality?
For the outsiders, that's, y'all see me serious, but these guys know I'm probably the goofiest on the team. I'm still 18, I'm young, so I still got my childish ways.
Mark Freund, WHO 13. Tyrese, a lot's been made about your family and you being from here, but a couple times this week you've name-dropped your grandmother. Could you just briefly outline why that is and what she kind of means to you?
She installed who Tyrese is today. She raised me since I was in elementary school, just making me become the man I am, teaching me my ways, from tying my shoes to, my father passed early, so, just to things like riding my bike. So she was always there for me, and I feel like this is my payback, just showing her to, showing the public, showing the media the man that I am today. So I feel like that's my payback for her.
Jay Cohen, AP. For any of you guys, I mean, there's defensive effort, and then there's kind of what you guys do on defense, kind of almost another level. Is there a secret behind that? What is it about you guys that, allows you or gives you so much energy and exerts so much effort on the defensive side?
I would just say we all bought in. I mean, we all bought into the little things. I mean, the coach has done a great job with putting us in the right direction and giving us principles to lock in on defense. But I just say we all bought in and we all care for each other, and we all just take pride in that area of the court.
Yeah, I feel like that was really instilled in the summer. That was the first principle we put in. We put in like our defensive concepts before any offense. We was running scrimmages, and it was a whole lot of defense. We were really frustrating each other.
Jim Polsey from the Wisconsin State Journal, a two-parter for you, Gabe. You and Brad Davison both grew up in the Twin Cities and played against each other for 4 years in the Big Ten. I'm curious how much you played against each other before then and what kind of rivalry that is. And then the second part is Wisconsin was looking for a grad transfer guard in the offseason. I believe there was contact. Can you let us know how serious those talks were?
Yeah, Brad and I have played high school basketball with each other, and we played in the same AAU tournament for Howard Pulley, so we're in a good relationship with each other. And I played when I was at Minnesota, and he was at Wisconsin. We had a lot of good battles back and forth, so I mean, it's going to be fun, another battle back and forth with them. But yeah, I mean, they did reach out to me, but I chose Iowa State, and I'm glad I chose to stay here.
Abby Schnabel, State Journal. Tyrese, I know you said yesterday that you weren't a Wisconsin fan growing up, but was there ever any interest in being a Wisconsin native and playing for the Badgers? And if so, were there any conversations during your recruiting process?
No, ma'am. It really wasn't. Honestly, when I first started playing basketball, I didn't even see myself really getting to this high as a level. Not a kid from Racine, get a lot of recognition like that. But I know the dedication and the work I had to put in, and all the blessings came towards me. But Wisconsin was never really in my view.
Gabe, Isaac Trotter, 24/7 Sports. You got a look at Johnny Davis last year, right? Like, did you see this coming from him, this breakout?
No. I mean, last year, he didn't really stand out that much, but yeah, he's broken out this year. So yeah, it's a big jump from him.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right, guys, thank you. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
We'll have TJ Otzelberger momentarily. Questions for Iowa State head coach TJ Otzelberger, please.
TJ, Mark Freund, WHO, in the back here. It's been, 18, 20 some hours since Tyrese kind of did what he did. Any leftover feelings or anything you saw on film that sticks out one day later?
Obviously, it was a terrific performance by Tyrese, his shot-making ability. What stood out to me on film more than anything was his continued body language, how he commanded the game. People talk a lot about how he doesn't look like a freshman out there, and so it's that level of confidence that he carries himself with and everything that continues to have him well prepared for those big moments and those big shots. So that's where I was really proud of him, his effort, his body language, and how he commanded the game. Certainly, made a lot of big shots, none bigger than the one at the end to put us up by 5.
Jesse Temple with The Athletic. TJ, did any part of you consider this might be a rebuild in your first season here, knowing you had to overhaul the roster and this program was coming off a 2-win season? And if not, why? What was your approach to changing things so quickly?
We wanted to immediately instill a work ethic that we knew would withstand the test of time. It was important that we brought in players that were willing to work extremely hard, very low ego, high producing guys. We didn't have a mindset of how many wins we might get this year, or when would it all happen? When would that process lead to winning and having in-game success? Based on how our schedule was set up, as we started to win games early in the year and build momentum, our guys' confidence was growing. They continued to work. We practice every day in the morning. And so we really feel like we're teaching our guys time management, and we're building out their days, and we're very demanding. And as they continued to build confidence in that process, they started to believe, we can win more games and we can win immediately. But it wasn't because we skipped a step. It wasn't because we compromised in any way. It was more that their confidence was growing through the work they were doing, and then all of them doing it together and building that unity. And as that happened, it was like we were a boulder rolling downhill, building that confidence as we went forward. So we never wanted to approach it like it's a rebuild, and we never wanted to approach it like it's a win now. It was more that I have a tremendous sense of pride in this program, and I love Iowa State, and I want us to do really well. And we put a model in place that will withstand the test of time for us to be successful for many years moving forward.
Abby Schnabel, Wisconsin State Journal, right here. There aren't many freshman point guards in Division I basketball that start, but 2 of them, Chucky Hepburn and Tyrese Hunter, will play tomorrow. Can you kind of compare and contrast the two and how they play?
Hepburn's a bigger physical guard, terrific shot maker, guy that can really knock down shots. He's got a physical, imposing presence to his game. Tyrese is more of a dynamic playmaker who is extremely athletic, has great defensive instincts, plays passing lanes. Both do not look like freshmen when they play. They are guys that play with a poise and a command well beyond their years. So, there's not many. We looked early in the year when we saw what we were asking of Tyrese, how realistic is what we're asking of him. And we saw that Hepburn was another that had a pretty formidable role. So credit to both of those guys. You don't take on that role unless you have terrific work habits before you already get to college. It's clear that both of those guys had those.
TJ, Jay Cohen, Associated Press. Before you were out here, the players alluded to early morning workouts on a soccer field after you got started. Can you tell us more about what you had them doing early on, what time of year and what the thought process was? And they kind of credited that as kind of laying the seeds for kind of the work ethic and stuff that's, throughout your program?
We had a tremendous sense of urgency when they all got in June. A lot of times in programs, you'll have summer workouts, a couple guys. Within the rules, you get 2 hours a week at that point that you can do workouts with the team. We wanted to take advantage of those opportunities. And then obviously with our strength and conditioning coach, we wanted to make it an aggressive plan right away in the summer so that it set the tone for our whole program. We didn't want to ease into anything. I also, as a coach, wanted to learn about the players who could fight through adversity, who were the guys that were leaders, who already had the built-in work capacity in those situations. So as we started our summer workouts in June, we wanted it to feel like we were getting ready to play right away. Oftentimes, you wait until the fall to start that, and we started it right away. So whether it was some of the team building things we did or that conditioning that they had mentioned, we just wanted a high level of intensity so they were preparing to win in June and not waiting for September to see what that looked like or to feel that.
TJ, would you do cut-ups with the team after victories, after losses? What do you want them to get out of them? And like I said, after victories and after losses.
Each game, we try to decide what are the things that we can learn from and be better as we move forward, certainly. And then there's also the part where you want to point out the positives and what those look like so they get the visual picture. I think with young people, they're so glued to like their phone and social media that you've got to have, quick hits of what that looks like so they have that imagery and that visual of what it needs to look like. So we really try to teach from the great things that we do in the games and use those examples to move forward. There's also times where, excuse me, my boys. There's also times that you need to take opportunities to learn from things you didn't do as well. So depending on where our team has been at in the year, there's been times we've been at a real high, and maybe that's a time where you can get their attention more teaching things we're not doing well. There's been other times we've needed a confidence boost, and when we've needed that, we've tried to show them the things we do really well. So I think as the season has played out, there's timing, different timing for different situations of how we utilize that information. Yeah, I'd say when we've struggled, I don't think it's a secret, we've had some scoring droughts, whether it's shot making, whether it's untimely turnovers. We're not this fun and guns, space and pace offensive team. And so like when we've struggled, it's usually been, we're not seeing the ball go through the hoop. And those are the times we've really tried to build their confidence, show them what it's looked like, when we've been effective, why we've been effective, what that ball movement and playmaking looks like for our team when we are being successful. And that's what we really tried to teach when we were struggling to get that confidence back going. Thanks. You can keep these coming.
What have you seen so far on tape from Johnny Davis?
Yeah, is he good? There may not be a more dynamic scorer in the country, a guy that can score it in transition, score it at all three levels, makes big shots, always aggressive. So what we've seen is he's a heck of a player. We're going to have a lot of attention on guarding him. It's going to be multiple guys. We're not going to be able to just put one guy on him and say, hey, you do the job mano a mano. A lot of respect for him. Came into this program here. I'm very familiar with him from being in the state, and I've seen him play when he's younger, and they've done a terrific job developing him, and obviously he's got tremendous work habits. You don't play to that level if you don't work that hard, both in practice and on your own. So huge credit to him.
Coach, going off of that, too, with the matchup of Johnny versus Tyrese, two guys from Wisconsin playing in Wisconsin for a shot at the Sweet 16. I mean, obviously, I know the game is much bigger than just these two guys, but what is it about that specific matchup that you see come tomorrow?
Well, Tyrese, for us, needs to command the game, needs to manage possessions, needs to pick spots when we want to push it in transition, when we need to execute in the half court. And he needs to set the tone defensively with his ball pressure for us. Davis, for them, is an electric scorer, does so many, you just have to put so much attention on him that it creates opportunities for others. He's also a very impactful rebounder from the guard position. So their strengths are entirely different, and how they make their team successful is entirely different. Obviously, both being here from the state and having this opportunity in front of them is the common ground, and both being really good players as well.
TJ, seems like this site has been the defensive bracket for whatever reason. You guys and LSU and even Wisconsin seems to have played one of their better defensive games last night. Just can you kind of speak to the matchup on the defensive side of the ball and where you kind of see the separation between the two squads?
Wisconsin is for many years, especially under Coach Gard, has been a very stingy defensive team. They're very fundamentally sound. They play with a lot of character and integrity defensively. They help each other out. You can tell they're connected. They don't let you score easy baskets. They get back in transition. They block out. So they're a tough team to score against. For us, we're more of a pressure defensive team, try to generate turnovers, speed our opponents up, and utilize those as opportunities to score in transition. So both methods can be effective. Certainly they've had an identity over time. We're still trying to build ours, but I think both can be effective. It's just two different ways to go about it.
TJ, you've talked about instilling the importance of time management, and your players have credited that as a big part of their success. They said everything's been laid out for them from the start when they got here in the summer. Can you elaborate on what that plan looked like? How did you manage that for them on a daily schedule to get them ready?
We wanted to bring in folks who could educate them about, what their dietary habits need to be. Vic, our trainer, does a great job talking to them about sleep habits and the impact on sleep and how that plays into it. Nutrition, our strength coach, Pete Link, does a phenomenal job educating them on what they need to do to take care of their bodies. We integrate yoga into our process every week and feel like that's something that's really impactful for us. Our guys understand the value of getting in and getting extra shots. I've been fortunate, even at Iowa State, to coach guys that have gone on to play at the next level. And our players ask those questions, and so you can tell the stories and help educate them on, if you want to be like such and such, this is how they work. This is how they handle adversity. This is how they eliminate distractions. So we've tried to spend a lot of time educating them on choices that they make when they're away from us and how that impacts their ability to be successful as student athletes. And then with the hours that we're given, we try to really work with them to be efficient and make sure that we're maximizing the intensity that we go and the time that we are able to work with them.
Abby Schnabel, Wisconsin State Journal. Coach, you mentioned Chucky Hepburn being on your radar pretty early in the season. How long and how closely have you been following him, and how did that help you prepare for tomorrow?
Well, being from the state, there's always a time when you get home at night and after your day, and I'm spending my time with my kids, and you might flip through a game in the background. And, so I've had games on from Wisconsin, and just taking notice of what a great player he was right away. People talked about with the players that, the Badgers lost last year, there's going to be inexperienced guys coming in. And so just a natural curiosity to watch and see, and impressed with how quickly, as the season got going, he stepped into that role. And, remember watching more around Christmas and just seeing, even as I got into conference play, how the poise and command he had as a freshman.
Owen Sebring with KGAN. We've talked a lot about Tyrese doing this in front of a lot of friends and family from Wisconsin, but of course this is your hometown too. And so have you heard from a lot of former friends and family this week? And does getting your first career tournament victory take on a little bit more significance having it happen here in Milwaukee?
Now you said former friends, so are those people who are my enemies now? No, but we've heard from a lot of people. We're very grateful. I take a lot of pride in being from Milwaukee. It's helped shape me who I am. There's been so many coaches, mentors, leaders that I've looked up to that have helped shape my future and provide a life for my family. I'm really grateful. I've heard from a lot of those folks. My best friends are still guys I played with in high school and in college and AAU team that I played on, and those experiences we shared. It's great to have them be part of it. My high school coach, Coach Ross, came out and saw us play a game in Ames against Texas. We had a win, which was pretty cool. And my college coach at Whitewater, Dave Vandermillen, was here last night, and he'll be here again tomorrow. So to have all these people that you care about, you love, and your family to be part of that experience and opportunity and do it in your home city, it's pretty awesome. Right now, everything's going so fast, so I'm sure I'll appreciate it more as time moves forward. Right now, we feel like we're in the middle of a tornado that keeps spinning, and we got to figure out how to be at our best and get through it. But I'm sure when I look back, I'll really appreciate and enjoy what an awesome opportunity this has been up to this point, hopefully continues to be.
Billy Witz with the New York Times. TJ, Wisconsin's a little bit different now. They've kind of evolved to where maybe they're a little more, well, more than a little more offensively oriented. But you grew up, just in high school and in college at a time where the program really took a leap. And I'm just wondering what influence, watching them had on you at that age, and just maybe if any of that has sort of stuck with you and been part of your coaching philosophy.
Yeah, Coach Bennett, when he came to Wisconsin, he had a huge impact on me. When I was younger, I'd go to camps at Wisconsin Green Bay when he was a coach there. My high school coach really looked up to him and would take me up to camps there. So he had a big impact. I had a few good friends, Mike Kelly and Andy Kowski, that played on the 2000 Final Four team. So those were guys that I played against in high school in the Metro Conference in Milwaukee, and guys that were friends of mine. So I took a lot of interest and pride in watching the program because Coach Bennett had been somebody I held in such regard as a coach and teacher and leader, and then I had buddies on the team as well. So it really, it was that era that I took note of the program and developed a lot of respect. And I really feel like those guys helped set the tone for the future of Wisconsin basketball because they've been on a heck of a ride for 20-some years now of a lot of sustained success, which says a lot about the integrity and character of their program.
Tyrese sounds like he can be kind of a goofy guy sometimes off the court. What have you seen him away from his time playing basketball?
What's funny is on the court, he's always got a straight face. He takes everything very seriously. All the details are really important to him. And it's almost like you can't break him. And then off the court, he's a jokester. He's always cracking jokes. He's somebody that is fun to. He's just got that upbeat, jovial personality at all times. Off the court, doesn't take himself or anything too seriously. He's got a good way about him. He's fun to be around. Very charismatic young man. I mean, extremely smart, intelligent, but also just has a great sense of humor and really funny.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.